Hello, everybody. Welcome to our album release party stream. I'm Hiraeth, obviously, and with me I have the co-producer of the album, director of Whack Media, also my fiance, Jeff Winston.
Hey, everybody. Nice to be seen by you.
Yes, so first we just kind of wanted to talk about some of the technical things, get that out of the way with the introduction, and then we'll play some of the songs. And I'd love to just like kind of talk about the making of the album and each song briefly, individually, and stuff. And if anybody has any questions, we can answer those as well. So first off, where you can find the digital album, which is available for sale now. It's on whackmedia.store. And if you go to the Hiraeth page, you can
What do you want to know? Where it is for sale?
yes, the digital
Okay.
download and stuff.
Okay, if you go to the store, go to whackmedia.store, go to the store at the top, and then go to music, and then it'll be the first two. There's the CD pre-order and the digital download are there. Yeah,
Cool.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I can share my screen too in a little bit if we want to do it that way, just to show people where to go. And that's going to be available in two different options. We did WAV and MP3s, and somebody asked me under one of my other videos if we were going to do FLAC, and the answer is no, because we decided to go with WAV as the lossless file type, just because it's uncompressed and it's a little bit more user friendly when it comes to using different types of players and stuff. The MP3, for those of you who don't know, it's probably good for stuff like iTunes because the metadata, including the album artwork, is embedded like into those files. And the sound quality is not quite as good as MP3, but most listeners wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. So, and you can download both. If you do get the digital album, you can download either or both. And that will also come with, the album cover, the track listing, as well as a document or a PDF of all the lyrics for each song. And we have the CDs, which I'm super excited about. We have those available for pre-order. And right now, we're going to have those to where if you pre-order a CD, you will get a digital download for free, just so you can hear it before they come in, because we unfortunately we had to order them like yesterday, so they're not going to get here for 2 to 3 weeks. But I want you guys to hear the album, so if you do pre-order the CD, you will get to hear it before then. And obviously, ideally, you want to have the CDs ready like before or by the time you launch your digital album. But I had to set this deadline for myself to make sure that I would have this album out well before my due date, since we're going to be parents in the summertime. So I set this date today as my deadline, and we've been working on this music like tirelessly up until like last weekend. And then even ever since last weekend, we've been working on finalizing everything with like metadata attached to the files, just like technical stuff like that. And then the CDs, getting the cover in order and everything. So, oh, and a big shout out to Jayla Dark. She did the album cover and the track listing, and it looks amazing. She did a great job. She's super talented. Very lucky to have her as a friend and collaborator in that way. So, yeah. So let's see. I've got a list here. I'm trying to remember everything I wanted to tell you guys before we get into it. Let's talk about the streaming part of the website. There's also, you can, if you go to like the Hiraeth free stuff page, which I'll probably just do a screen share here. Let me pull it up.
Are you talking about how they can also stream it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and just share that.
Can I chime in very quickly?
Of course.
Someone was asking about Bandcamp, and we're not putting it on Bandcamp because we're creating our own alternative to Bandcamp. We've had a number of artists get kicked off there, and if we put our stuff up there, we're just asking to get kicked off. We're never going to prosper on these enemy platforms, so I know it's convenient for people, but we can do the exact same thing through Whack Media, and we completely own that, and we determine who's on it and how it goes. So
Yes, and that answers one of the other things that I have on here is why is it going to be exclusive to Whack Media? And it's just like he said, we prefer to do it this way because we got to start bringing people over to our website. We have to start having our own platforms, things that we can't be censored on, and it's so stupid, but it's just the way it has to be. And somebody asked me if I was gonna have my stuff on Spotify as well, and I know that's a big platform that people enjoy listening to, but the answer for this album is no, they will not be on Spotify. Let's see. So let me go ahead and share this. Here we go. Okay. So here we go. And if you want to just navigate this, just bring them to the free stuff streaming part.
It's interesting. I don't know if your computer's just, oh, there it is. Okay. There it is. It had to reload.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you just go to the main page, you can stream what's already publicly available. So if you click on Hiraeth Woven under the streaming, it just takes you to the Hiraeth free stuff. So there's the 6 songs that are publicly available out there.
Is this not?
What?
It's sharing, right? Can people see that?
Oh no. What? Oh, I've got to edit.
I was looking on my phone because I have it pulled up, and I was like, wait a second. It's just our faces.
Sorry, guys. It's been a long time since we've done this.
We're getting back into it.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, there we go. Okay, now you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you just go to just under the streaming, and you can go to like Hiraeth. So if I go back to home, I know we're not doing a tutorial tonight. I already did that kind of, and then you can go to Hiraeth's free stuff page, and then you can listen to the songs there, and all of her albums, by the way, most of all of her catalog is there for free, except for Metamorphosis. We've only got the partial album. You have to become a member or buy that digital download. Or for Woven, you have to become a patron member to listen to the whole thing. You can stream it if you become a patron member, or you can buy the digital download or the CD in the store. Like she said, the CDs are pre-order right now, but they're probably going to be available by the 13th through the 18th. And you guys, the people who buy the CDs will get the free digital download, since we don't want you to wait to get to hear the whole album. So it's a pretty good deal. Hey, $15 for the CD and the digital download. I think it's a pretty good deal. It's 15 tracks, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all right. So anyway,
comes out to about like 47 minutes, I think.
Yeah. And it's good. It's
50 minutes maybe.
We'll get into it, but it's the best thing I've ever been part of. And I'm not biased at all.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop sharing this.
All right.
Okay. So now that we have like the technical stuff over with, we will go ahead and play a song. So
can I give a shout out to some people first?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
we just say hi to some people? Since we're having a party here, I don't want to be all business-like.
Right, yeah.
Lord Wolfshield, Luke, we're unmuted, right? Okay, I'm just making sure. Lynn Graham, good to see you, and you're welcome for we're talking about the Bandcamp there. All right. Jack White, Dan Snot is here, JB.
Hello, everybody.
Ivan Popovic. Oh, I saw Kat. Kat was here. P-Cat. Chuck Manson. Oh my God, Charlie Manson's in the chat. Anyway, lots of other wonderful people, guys. Hello, and thank you for being here. Okay, you want to talk about and/or listen to some tunes? Oh, Phil of England. Sam is here. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Yeah.
Robert E. Pyle. White Noise. Good to see you, man.
Yes, thank you all for joining us. So this first song we're going to play is actually the album title song, right? Yes.
Yep. That's
And
the one.
this is the one we actually just released today to accompany the album launch. So there are going to be 6 songs on the album that are exclusive to just purchasing the album. So I'm not going to put them on my YouTube. And I've already explained this. People are probably tired of hearing me talk about it. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it and play the song. And then we can start talking about the making of the album.
Oh wait, I have to
Oh,
play it.
yeah.
I have to play it. Okay. I think this is the right one.
Something stirs when dusk marries the night, conjuring 10,000 orbs of light. Ice cold energy burns in my mind as the thread type of our intertwined. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Star patterns emerging all the time, never-ending chain of woven lives. Cosmic energy flows through my mind as the skies above are realized. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. Transcending time and space, by blood, by name, carved into stone, then born again. All right, so that was Woven, same as the album title. And that's actually the second track on the album. The first one I was originally, because I think I had like said this in a Twitter thread, I was originally going to have Beyond the Vultures be the intro track, but it didn't work out that way because when I started making the order of the album, it just didn't seem to flow right, as it just didn't seem like an intro track to me. So I ended up using, I remastered Bloodlines which was a project I did for the patriotic arts community. Oh my gosh, it was like 2021, I think. And I just thought that it fit really well with the concept of the album. It was a really good, just short kind of intro track. And so I remastered that, and that's what ended up being the intro track. And Woven followed after that, which is kind of a interesting contrast because Woven's the only song on the album that has this kind of like raw electric guitar. It's a bit more rock than the rest of the tracks. But I saw that Imminent Rain was asking who did the guitar, and that's this guy. So I wrote the song, I wrote the guitar and everything, but as a recording artist, I'm definitely not technically like a great musician, so I can play just enough to write songs and that sort of thing, but I'm much sloppier guitar player than Jeff is over here. So for a lot of the songs, he actually ended up learning them and then recording them, and then I did the vocals and stuff. And he also did bass and drums, so he was like a major player in the production and the recording process, and just in like beefing up the songs in general. We kind of fleshed them out together, so it was the first time I've had the opportunity to work on like a full album with somebody, which is really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Do you want to say anything about it?
No, yeah, so I played the bass, drums, and the guitar. And yes, by the way, there's someone was asking trivia question: is this the first Hiraeth track to feature electric guitar? Actually, no, it was
Found,
yeah.
which was the other song that we did together on
Yeah.
Metamorphosis.
Yep, that was the one I played bass and just bass on. But and I kind of like just went back and forth giving you notes on the mix on that one maybe a little bit. But yeah, this was someone asked how long I've been playing drums. My brother was a drummer in high school, and I just learned by watching him. So I've been playing for a long time. But we just got the WAC community drum set last, I think it was fall of 2021. I don't get to play often enough to practice. My guitar playing was a little sloppy on some parts on that track. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but like I think it works. It works for that particular song. But I'm really proud of it. I think it sounds really good. I'm really happy with. She and I have really like delved into the production of really like shaping the sound of every single instrument and figuring out I've been recording since I was like 17 or 18 years old, and I started on like analog recording, like a little 4-track like home recording station. And so it's like the stuff you can do with the DAWs these days, is amazing. But it's amazing how you can shape the sound. So like I feel like we've finally honed in on really getting things to be clear and clean, but also to have some oomph to them. But yeah, I'm happy to play on this whole thing, obviously. But this track's really cool because it was kind of a departure. The other one that had electric guitar was not as rock and roll as this one was. This was kind of rock and
it was
kind
a
of
little
rock and
slower,
roll.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like this was a really fun track. I get to do the that classic beat.
And I was on Jody Kay's podcast recently talking about this album and stuff. Truth Hurts. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it. She's an amazing host, and her streams are very comfy, very cozy, and just nice to be a part of, nice to listen to. But yeah, so I was talking about the concept on that, and this song, Woven, was just a good song that summed up the concept pretty well. Like initially what inspired this album was just the idea of fate and free will and what you have control over in your own life and what you don't, and how that all works together and stuff like that. So, and it kind of became more personal as I was writing songs for the album. It started off this like broad concept of that, and inspired by all different kinds of things like, Norse and Greek mythology, and the idea of the fates or the Norns, weaving these threads of fate that are all intertwined and connected in some kind of way. So I felt like this song kind of summed up that initial inspiration really well. So I just decided to call it Woven, which was the album title. And yeah, I mean, we'll keep going down the list if you want. You want to do
I'd
that?
love to. Luke was asking about, people were asking about Luke asked about like the Fostex, the home recorder thing. I had the other brand first. That was analog. I can't remember. There was another big brand. It was like Fostex and another one. I can't remember what it was. And then I got a Fostex that was a digital workstation, and I recorded an album back in like 2005 on that. But anyway, enough about me. This isn't about me. This isn't about me.
You're fine. All right, so the next song on the track list is The Calling, which we do have available to listen to. So if you want to go ahead and play that one, we'll give it a listen.
All right, let's listen to The Calling.
When the time comes to tread the path unknown, I'll share all that I can with you, my soul. Did you hear the call? Will you receive the message shown? When the tower falls, there's room for growth. The dead flowers become one with the soil. Will you harvest the fall? Building a temple in its place. All that's sacred can't be erased. It doesn't need to be explained. It doesn't need to be explained. When the time comes to tread the path unknown, I'll be right here for you when you return. Did you hear the call? Will you receive the message shown? All that's sacred can't be erased. It doesn't need to be explained. It doesn't need to be explained.
All right, so that was The Calling. I almost forgot to unmute us.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, so that one I wrote like a couple years ago, and I think it was 2 years ago, and I did like just a much slower live recording of that. I think it might still be on my YouTube, just of me playing acoustically, and yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. It's kind of just about, I mean, I had this sort of vision of like people going off to war, fighting for a cause, and you know, you have to go with your gut and sort of thing, and stand up for what you believe in, and just the whole idea of like waiting there for your loved one to return after war and that sort of thing. That all of that inspired that song. And with the drums, we both really like Tool, like those tribal drum beats and stuff that Tool uses. So I was like asking him to do something kind of like that because that's what I was hearing. And then he got a vision for it, and he just, you know, went off with it, and it ended up being exactly what I wanted. So I was very happy with that.
Yeah, when we released this on YouTube the other day, we got a really high compliment, which was that I forget who said it. I want to give him credit, but they were saying like it sounds like a mellow version of Tool, which that's a high compliment for both of us because we both.
I think it was Jim Bonner.
Okay, yes, it was Jim Bonner. You're right. So yeah, it was.
Shout out to Jim Bonner.
Shout out to Jim Bonner. By the way, Jim, I need to get back to you on that book review. Anyway, but I will do that soon. But yeah. Anyway, I'm no Danny Carey, but it was fun to get to play those drum. I love Tom work. She and I both, one of the reasons we like Tool is because they do a lot of toms. Danny Carey is by far my favorite drummer, and like he does more tom work. He just does tons of parts on the toms. Like a lot of drummers don't do that. They don't use the toms a lot unless it's a fill, but he has the whole driving part of the song be all on the toms, and I love that. So it was really fun to get to play something like that. And Time and Place has entered the chat. Hey, but anyway, good to see you, man.
Yeah, it was that one was a really cool song to see it develop though, because it just started off kind of slower and like, I don't know, totally different, and then we sped it up and it just sort of evolved as he got involved with it.
That's what happens this happens when we play live too, is that I speed all of her songs up.
He
more
does.
than
He
she
speeds
likes.
them up, and I'm like, I don't have room to sing all this, because sometimes I need like a lot of breath and stuff to sing certain notes, and it catches me off guard sometimes, but it's funny. And that's like the trick of playing live is you just need a lot of practice because you have to get used to playing with people, and I'm not like a big live performer. I haven't done it a lot, and so like learning to play with other people is different. It's definitely it's a different kind of beast in a way than recording. Recording, it's like you can do as many tries as you like, but when you're playing live, it's like, oh, I got to get this right this time, or it's just gonna be a big bloop, like, you know. But yeah. So, anyways, I'll move on to the next song.
Jack, but just by the way, Jack said that he heard the call, so I just want to point that out.
Glad to hear it, Jack.
And also, he said the bass department called, but I missed the rest of that comment. But
Glad that he received the message shown. So.
Oh wow! Time and Place says playing a show tonight and dedicating my set to you tonight, Hiraeth. Congrats on the new record.
Oh, thank you so much. Time and Place. He does speaking of like really good live performances, he is awesome. So anytime he does any of his live streams, check it out. And he builds all of his own stuff that he does these like synth performances and stuff with. So it's very impressive. I have no idea how any of that stuff works. So it blows my mind and seriously incredible.
Hey man, break a leg on the gig tonight.
Yeah.
Not literally, obviously, but don't let anyone else either break your leg. But it's a crazy world out there. You're gonna do great, and you're gonna be fine.
It's gonna be awesome. So the next song is the first one that we released for the album. Actually, when did we release this video? It was a while ago.
I think it was the fall of 2022. It might have been September, maybe October.
You mean 2021?
No.
We're in 2023 here.
I know. I think did we release you're talking about Inside and Out?
Yeah.
Didn't we release that last fall?
That
Or
was
the-
that
or
was
that
virtual.
long
That was
ago?
virtual hell.
Holy sh! Okay, so it
think,
was like,
yeah.
oh wow, we've been working on this album for a long time.
Yeah, we've been working on it for like 2 years. I mean,
Okay.
I've some of these songs I've written like 3 years ago.
Okay, then it was the fall of 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, well, there you have it. So this next song we're gonna play is Inside and Out.
Yearning to know what signal to show when reaching beyond. Traveler's cloak, hooded and robed, where have you gone? Stuck between time, no spaces or lines, I'm out of your mind. Won't hinder my growth with feelings of hope, this path was shown. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. I feel that you're close to pages of prose and a book tightly closed. You're under my skin in the space that's within. I know where you've been. The weight's on my back, compressed to retract and pulsing the path. The numbers repeat, expand and retreat. You know what I've seen. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around. Woven with thread, inside and out, written in stone, no way around.
All right, so that was Inside and Out, and that's actually the only other one that we have like a music video that I'm in, and it was fun to make that video too.
Well,
enjoy-
sometimes
Sometimes.
I was kind of a pecker. Sometimes it was frustrating. Sometimes
You weren't. You were a little cranky that one day. The day that we filmed like the very last shot, he was a little cranky that day. But other than that, you were fine.
Okay.
You were fine. Yeah, but it was fun. I think it turned out really well, and it got across that concept again of the three fates and the Norns and past, present, and future, and that sort of thing. So I enjoyed that. And I'm no actor, so I was like, just make sure my face is covered up the whole time, because I didn't want to make a weird face or something, because it's such a serious song, you know.
Yeah, that kind of made it challenging for me as a filmmaker. I'm like, I want to capture some like, I wanted some like close-ups or something, but she's like, don't get my face at all. And I'm like, okay, well, that kind of makes it hard. But anyway, no, I think it turned out really well. Thanks for
Because
the
my idea
compliments,
was to
guys.
be like faceless and nameless, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like an entity almost that could apply to anybody, to like any soul, I guess. But yeah, it was fun making that one. Oh, and big shout out to Olivia Key. She actually did the production and the mastering for that one. So I recorded all of the stuff and just sent her the stems, and she worked her magic and made it sound amazing. So so yeah, that one's mixed a little differently than the other tracks on the album, but I still feel like it fits really well with everything, considering that. So yeah, shout out to her. And if you haven't heard her music, you should check it out. Anyways, so the next song on the track list is Caught on the Line. That is an exclusive song that you will have to buy the album in order to listen to.
Tease.
It's a good one though. It was fun. I really enjoyed writing that one. It's kind of got like a grungy vibe to it,
Yeah.
and I don't really know what else to say
Yeah,
about it.
people who are digging the kind of 90s-ish vibe, which I take as meaning, because we're using real instruments, and definitely there's influence from that for sure. But Caught on the Line, I like that one a lot. That's one of my favorites, I think. It's, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it either. Do you have anything to say about the lyrics or what the...
I mean, yeah, that one's kind of just.
How does it fit into the concept?
Well, that one's a little more personal. I mean, that one was kind of just like, it's this idea of, I was seeing a lot of like this post about like being stuck in a liminal space at the time when I wrote this. And I thought that those posts, they were like always like these empty hallways and stuff. And it was kind of an interesting, like dark concept, but it's like, I think a lot of times we kind of feel that way in this modern world where we feel like we're almost stuck between two times. Like we're not really moving forward, but we're still like, we are at the same time, and it's just this weird in between. And that can be sort of applied to different aspects of life as well, even to an individual level. So I was kind of just thinking about all of that when I wrote the song, and then it sort of switched because like I wrote part of the song probably about a year ago, and then I finished the song a year later, and the last part of the song is like a breakdown that sets itself apart from the rest of the song, and it's more about falling in love and feeling like, oh, okay, I can finally move forward, but wait a second, I actually want to stay where I am because I'm with the person that I care about the most. So that part.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you want to check that one out, I wish I could share it with you, but we've got to have some stuff exclusive because it's important that we bring people to the site, and the more people we can get to the WAC Media site, the more we'll have a chance to help advertise for our businesses in our community. We can help pay artists based on like streaming and views and that sort of things. That's the ultimate goal there. And
And we're not giving anything to the enemy. Like, why would we do that? There's no reason. We've got we've got it now. Like, WAC Media is it. Check it out. No, but I mean, we need our own platform. We've needed it for a long time, and now we've got it. And we've got advertisers over there. Right now we've got Grandma Towler's Tea and the Biz Archives Dave Martell's Biz Archives, and we're going to get lots more of our people in our spheres. But that's the other thing too, is being able to curate commercials is just as important, because you know what they do in commercials. The propaganda is just as thick in commercials as it is in music and film and anything else. But so yeah, so for anybody still wondering, like, why isn't it on Spotify, why is it on Bandcamp, or even why isn't it all on YouTube, it's just like, we have to have our own platform. I mean, because also, like, views are like the currency of the internet, and we can turn them into money, we can turn them into influence. That's the only way we're going to take our own culture back. It's the only way. We have to have our own platforms that they can't ban us from, and that's what Whack Media is.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next song on the number 7 on the tracks is, I hope this isn't like boring that I'm just like going through all the songs, but I do want to share because it took so many years for this album to be made, and that was so different from my other albums. I just like, those ones I kind of just busted out quickly. I just cranked out songs, and then once the last song was done, the album was out, and I didn't put a whole lot into production because I was really intimidated by it, and it's a huge learning curve there. So this one I really took my time with, and I had a lot of help, and I wanted to learn a lot more about production so that I could get it sounding the way that I heard it in my head when I imagined it, or when I recorded and wrote it, and that sort of thing. Anyway, so the next song on the tracks is Casting Shadows, and it starts out a cappella. And one of the things I wanted to do was have a song that was strictly a cappella on this album, but it didn't really work out that way. That's something that I also learned with this album, is you go into writing a song and you think, oh, I have this whole idea that I'm going to do this song. And then you just kind of explore it creatively, and it ends up nothing like you originally meant for it to. So this one, Casting Shadows, does start off a cappella, but I end up bringing different elements to that one. And that one's kind of like lo-fi. It's like the lo-fi song of the album, because the funny thing is when I started recording the guitar, I did play guitar on that one. It's really simple. I recorded it in the kitchen, and Otto, our puppy, he was in the kitchen snoring, like right below my feet. So when I listened to the playback, I was like, man. And then it was like a rhythmic, like breathing, snoring thing. And I was like, I kind of like that. It ended up being this thing that I decided to leave in. And there's all these like breathy vocals and these weird sounds. Like, I wanted to add elements of the album itself, so we actually took like this thick piece of fabric and poked it with a needle and thread, and I dragged my finger across or my hands across the fabric. So I was kind of doing this ASMR sort of thing, but the idea was like that you're weaving these threads of fate, and that's sort of one of the things. The fun little things about that song is it is weird. It's a weird one, but it's weird for a reason. So I enjoyed making it. It was definitely it was an exploration of a song, kind of. So very explorative.
I just want to point out that Jack said that he says, "You guys are a really cute couple." Just saying. That's the sweetest thing Jack's ever said. That's the nicest thing.
Thanks, Jack.
No, really. Thanks, Jack.
And so track number 8 is Eyes of a Ghost. And this one is another one that is exclusive to the album that you have to pay for. But
Tease.
But this one you enjoyed a lot. He really liked this song when I first played it for him. And I wasn't, it was funny because when I first wrote the song, I was like, I'm not sure if this fits. And he was like, I really like that. And so I was like, all right, well, maybe we could just go with it. And it ended up being like this Stray Cat strut, kind of like bluesy. I don't know, how would you describe it?
Yeah, it's got a vibe of, kind of reminds me of the Stray Cats. The chord progression's somewhat similar. Yeah, it's got kind of, it's funny, yeah. This album has a lot of different styles mixed together, which I like. A lot of my favorite stuff. But yeah, this one's kind of jazzy. This one gave me the opportunity to do like some cool walking bass lines. I actually played I played bass in high school jazz band, so it was a chance to get back to that. I won most improved because I didn't couldn't read music when I got in there, and I had to memorize the whole first concert. And then there was one song that I forgot, like pretty much the whole song live. But anyway, whatever. This isn't about my jazz or my high school. No, but it has jazz. It's cool. It's a jazz
Impressive.
kind of tune.
Impressive.
Yeah, impressive that you forgot the whole song. There were 6 songs. It was jazz songs, so they're complicated too. So I was like,
Right,
I
right.
remembered 5 out of the 6. That's pretty good. But anyway, yeah, this one's that we're not playing, that you have to go buy to hear it.
That we're teasing you about right now.
Oh, and by the way, guys, sorry, I'm trying to like process the orders as quickly as I can, but everything's so manual because of the way the payments are set up, so that we can't just get kicked off of stuff. So I'm trying to process those as quickly as I can. For people who buy the CDs, I will have the digital album to you by tomorrow, like at noon. I'll bust ass to get all that out, and then I'll definitely get the digital. If you're buying the digital album, I'll definitely get that also to you like by tomorrow morning. After tonight, I'll look at it tonight and see if there's anything I can get there. But anyway, sorry, it's a ton of work. Chuck Manson says, "Are you making me buy something?" You can just listen to the free stuff, but if you want the full album, you gotta buy it.
If you want to listen to the whole album, you do have to buy it. But there's plenty of free stuff from the album. I have a lot of tracks already available.
Hey, Jay's here. Hey, Jay.
But anyway, so Eyes of the Ghost, the song we were just talking about, I did have we both kind of had a vision for a music video for that. And I imagine like a very film noir kind of vibe with like lots of like harsh contrasts and like, the frilly hat, like not the frilly hat, but like the big rimmed hat and like the 50s style. I don't know.
Yeah.
I imagine that kind of thing. So maybe one day we'll make a video for it. There's no guarantees because obviously, we're expecting, so it won't be anytime soon. But
well, we had great ideas, like you said.
we did have great ideas.
But then, like, the best things happened, and we're like,
Right.
well, that's going to be really hard to make videos now. So
Right. So maybe one day, who knows? We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. So anyways, track number 9 is another exclusive song to the album, but there is a live version available because whenever I did perform this at Whackfest in 2022. Yes, Mike.
which one are we talking about?
A Culling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so A Culling is one that I did perform live, and he kind of played, I think he played guitar and he did like a kick drum for that. But the recording is a lot more developed, so I highly recommend checking that out on the album. And
I played that kick drum so hard.
you did.
I played it kind of fast too.
You always play it fast.
Yep.
If I let him like judge the tempo of my songs, they would end up being like 2 minutes long a piece. Like even
Yeah.
the 4-minute plus songs would be like 2 minutes.
I was like,
He does. He's like full speed all the time. So yeah, and A Culling is kind of just that idea of like, the title sort of speaks for itself. Where, you have to thin the herd sometimes, unfortunately, like when you're part of a group, sometimes it doesn't always work out and people come and go, but it is like a testament to loyalty, who stays and who goes. And so yeah, that's sort of the inspiration for that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this is a constant culling. We've been under some pressure recently, and it's just like, hey, what are you gonna do?
So, and then the next one, track number 10, is Beyond the Vultures, which we will play for you.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, right now.
All right, let's do that. Oops.
Wow, I'm terrible at this. So I skipped Virtual Hell on the track listing. That's actually number 5, and that one's I do want to share with you guys because it's. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it, but for those who haven't, it's featuring my good friend Emily Eucas, and yeah,
Let's
Virtual Hell. Here's this one,
do it.
and we can play Beyond the Vultures after that. So.
World of mind games, virtual hell, so enticing. Is it even real? I can't tell if you care anymore, or if you're stuck inside your virtual world, locked and loaded in a video game. Wars for the chosen, it's all insane. I can't tell if you care anymore, or are you stuck inside your virtual world? Ooh, ooh, It's a minefield of virtual hell, all consuming, it's not even real. I can't tell if you can see it at all, or if illusions stain your corneas. Under covers, apartments amiss, time eludes us in this virtual hell. Have you fallen down in a hole, or are you stuck inside your virtual world? Ooh, ooh,
All right, so that was Virtual Hell. Got a little bit ahead of myself when I was going through the track list. I can't believe I just skipped over that one. But yeah, shout out to Emily Eucas for joining me on that song. And now we can just go ahead and play Beyond the Vultures if you want. Oh, somebody asked, real quick, somebody asked if there's cello on the album. There is some synth cello. I did have like a call out, or I made a post asking if anybody wanted to play cello on one of the songs. And I did get a reply, but it didn't end up working out. So, you know, it's just hard to get people together to do these sorts of things. So we ended up just having to put synth cello to it, and I think it's in actually two songs. So yeah. So there is some synth cello, as much as I wish that there was real cello. There's not. So, but yeah, maybe the next thing I create, whenever that's gonna be, will have real cello. It's my favorite instrument, so dreams do come true. Anyways,
Beautiful instrument.
here is Beyond the Vultures.
Hi, how high should I jump for you? How high, she said. Wide oceans wide, and maybe more than that, they said. Right then something clicked, and she chose not to. Throw away what she was meant to hold on to. All their worlds were ending as her soul was mending, and they watched and waited for her to fall. All their hunger stopped them as she soared beyond them, and they watched and waited for her to fall. They want her silent, they want her fallen, they want her innocence, they want her stolen, they want her quiet, they want her broken, they want her poisoned to feel nothing. Fly, fly high. Fly, fly
And then the question after that.
All right, so that was Beyond the Vultures. Just want to give a shout out to Hearth and Helm. I think that's Sarah, Sarah Dye. So hey, Sarah, if that's you. She said, "We are so lucky to have this talented lady and couple making music for us. This jam's so hard." Thank you very much. and Jay said this is probably one of her favorites. I had a lot of fun making this one. Originally, it was going to be the intro track, and I thought it was going to be like a short song, and then it turned into like a normal full-length song, and yeah, it just ended up being this one. So it's kind of just about soaring above and beyond all the vultures out there who are just people who, they're like vampires. They just suck the negative energy up, you know, and they want to see people fall down and they want to tear things apart just for their own amusement. I don't know, maybe it makes them feel better. Who knows why they do it, but they're thirsty for it. So yeah, it's important not to get sucked in by those types of people and to still do your own thing. So that's kind of what that song was about. So the next song after that one is track number 11, and it's called Homemade, and that one's one that's probably one of my personal favorites, but it is exclusive, so you have to purchase the album to listen to that one. There's actually a clip in it of that song that plays in the trailer that we released like 2 days ago, promoting this this album release. So if you liked that little clip, that is the end of one of the verses and the beginning of the chorus of Homemade.
Yeah, I think that Homemade is one of my favorites. I think it might be my favorite. It's hard to pick. They're all so great. I love them. The Calling is really close. I love The Calling, and I'm really happy with how the drums and everything turned out on that one. But Homemade is really cool. It's got a great vibe. And I just wanted to answer somebody, OG Snoop, how do we pay through PayPal? Should we just message you on Telegram? So if you order it through the store and pick the PayPal option, you should get an email that tells you how to pay. Through PayPal, you just have to go over there and send it to, like if you're in the US, you go send it to Whack Media. If you're in the UK, you would send it to White Art Collective through PayPal. But if you ordered it through the store, you should have an email with the exact instructions. If there's questions or concerns, just, you can DM me on Telegram. I'm White Art Collective over there. Or send us an email, whackmedia@protonmail.com. And someone else said, I don't know anything about Whack, but I'm about to release an album next month. Where do I look? I think you're asking about maybe releasing through us. Well, message me at whackmedia@protonmail.com and we can check it out, check out your stuff. We're trying to add more and more people. We've got a number of artists who we've already been working with who we're going to do exclusive stuff with through Whack Media. But we want to add new people. So yeah, please reach out and let us know what you're doing and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, sounds good. So after Homemade, we have track number 12, which is Hallowed in Time. And that is one that we're going to play. So we'll go ahead and play that one for you.
Yes. All right, I got to add it real quick.
Oh.
Here it is.
The voice is calling, unraveling twine, hands consecrating, hallowed in time, reborn through the aching. disintegrates. Taken from night, your cells reintegrate. From the dark like a magnet switched on into the light, drawn like a moth to the flame. Born out of time, the dark disintegrates. Taken from night, the cells reintegrate. From the dark.
So that was Hallowed in Time. Jack said that's one of his personal favorites. That's another one of my personal favorites. It was just one of the songs that just sort of came out. I didn't have to put a ton of thought into it. I wrote it in I don't know, probably within 2 hours I wrote that song, and developed it a little more later on. I added like the vocals and the breakdown part. I added that later on. But yeah, I really enjoyed making that song. And that is the last one that we have to play for you guys. There's 3 more tracks on the album, and I'll kind of just quickly go through those. But before I do, I just want to say thank you guys all for joining us for the album release stream, and share it far and wide if you enjoy listening to it. If you do purchase it, thank you so much, and spread the word. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
And I think you probably already did this, but want to just thank Jay Ladark for the awesome cover art.
Yeah, pull that up, please. It's beautiful. She did such an amazing job. I mean, it's more than I even could have expected. It's just perfect. She captured the vibe. Very, very well.
Yeah, I love it too. It really does take it. I feel like she was listening to the music, and she was moved by it, and I really, really am happy with the cover art.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. So yeah, Jay was dark. Woo woo. All right. So just to quickly go over the last of the tracks. So after Hallowed in Time, we have track number 13, which is called Gone But Not Forgotten. And that's sort of like the tearjerker of the album. It's about loss, and it's more just written for anybody who's lost someone close to them, whether it's a parent, a child, or even a dear pet, all those things. So it's written for those people to understand and relate to, and it's a sad one, but actually that's one of my favorites too. I wrote that one really quickly. Some things had happened in my personal life, and after those occurrences, it just sort of like came. So it was one of those ones that I wrote probably in about an hour, and yeah, it's one of my favorites because it's near and dear to me. It's definitely very personal. So that's a sad one, but then the next one, 14, is called Some Kind of Lullaby, and it's also a very slow song, but that one's it's sort of like written as like a lullaby to somebody as they're living their whole life through like the blink of an eye. Like if you could imagine being born and then growing old in a very short span of time. It's like the second verse goes back to like as you grow old and that sort of thing. So it's kind of just supposed to be a comforting song for all ages, I guess. So that's why it's called Some Kind of Lullaby, because it's not just for children. And the last track of the album is the outro, which I also had a lot of fun making that one. And that one's called The Marriage of Heaven and Earth. And it goes back to that, to just the concept of fate and free will and death and birth and that sort of thing. And that one's symbolically one of my favorites. I like the lyrics of that one a lot. It's very influenced by like astrology and alchemy, and I find those things very fascinating. So yeah, and that's a summary of all the tracks. I hope I didn't bore you guys with my explanations. There's so much you can say about it, though. I mean, it really, like, to talk about them briefly, it just doesn't really do them justice, in my opinion, because so much goes into the writing and the making of these songs. So you just got to listen to it, and hopefully if you can connect with it, then it's, you know, it's meant for you. It's meant for your ears. So yeah.
I just want to say hello to Nolis and Donald. I don't think we said hello to you guys. Core Whack Pack Pillar Artist. Another good. Oh, and thank you to Above Time Coffee Roasters, good friends of ours, giving us $25 over on Odyssey, saying support Whack, support white artist. We love Above Time Coffee Roasters, and we literally drink Above Time coffee every day. Also, just want to say, I'm not swarthy. I'm just like, I'm a little more red and pinkish than she is. Just saying. Also, Robert E. Pyle says this one kind of has a Tool mixed with AIC. I think talking about Hallowed in Time. AIC, Jar of Flies, Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies vibe to it. I think we'll take that, right? We both like Tool and Alice in Chains, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Earlier.
I love Alice in Chains. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say about like making this with me or being the co-producer or anything? I mean, we both learned a lot when it came to the mixing and mastering.
Well, I think this is a very exciting to be getting to do this kind of stuff, like co-produce. This is the direction I want to take Whack Media in, and it makes sense that you and I would be we'd be doing the first release, of course, with you, because you've been such a prolific Whack artist, and of course we ended up getting pretty cozy working together over the years. But you know, I want to do more of this, and to do more co-production with artists in our spheres, because, you know, I was talking to Imminent Rain earlier. I was talking to Luke about, you know, like, I could play some drums for you. You know, I'm working with Jack. I'm gonna play some drums. We've done some mastering, a little bit of mastering stuff for Alma Lahar and Keandro. I've played some guitar for some other people. So it's like, we want to do more of that. What we talked about in the State of the Art stream was that we want to do, it's less about just playing bunches of stuff, and like, let's hone in on fewer artists. Again, we want to support as many as we possibly can, but like, let's really try to produce the highest quality of things that we can. Let's really take our time, whether it's music or it's the film projects we're working on, or it's poetry or whatever it is. You know, it's like, and that, to me, that this is our first major production where like we really like sat and really took our time with everything, and I'm just super proud of it.
I'm so proud of it too, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that this will be like the last thing I do for a little while. I'm really excited to be a mom, to be a parent, and to start that phase of my life. And I do, like, I've told people, you never know, maybe I'll get inspired to make like an EP of lullabies for kids or something. Because actually, honestly, that's something I would really like, to just come up with melodies and simple songs and something that could be soothing for a child, help them go to sleep or something like that. But we'll see, because, you know, obviously I'm going to have to get into the flow of being a mom, and see, you know, just how our baby is, if she and it's a she, we do know the gender, So we'll have to see if she's like, if she will let us sleep and get on a solid routine or flow. I'm sure it will happen eventually, but it might take some time. But yeah, and I'll also be helping with the score for Black Spectre, the film that he is going to be working on. So,
I am working on it. We're deep in pre-production.
well, yeah, I mean,
just-
the production part of it.
Right.
But yeah, okay. I guess that's all for the album release party stream. Thank you guys all again for tuning in. This has been awesome, and I'm so happy to share this with you. We have one more super chat on Odyssey. I can't read it; it's too far away. What is it?
Big Ash fan, thank you. Off to purchase album. Thanks for creating this and bringing good music to people who need to hear it more than ever. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank
and
you.
that's the thing too, is like sincerity. Like we just really want to create good stuff. You know what I mean? And that's a huge part of what we're doing. Oh, and by the way, I forget. We're going to have an IRL marketing campaign. We didn't talk about this at all. But
Oh, yeah.
I was going to bring the flyers. So Jayla Dark made this awesome cover art for the album, and she's helped us make posters like 8.5 by 11 that you can print black and white or in color, or there's also quarter page flyers, and also we've got business cards. And they're really cool. I have them in the other room. I don't want to run and get them right now, but like I'm gonna put that out probably in the next couple days. Definitely in the next couple days.
We're like blocked in by computers and wires, so like
and
we
lights.
move. Yeah, stuff's
And
gonna like
lights.
fall over. And,
Yeah,
be
so
chaotic.
We don't have a real studio. It's just our couch. So
Right.
but
Our couch studio.
Yeah, but
Welcome.
we're gonna be doing that. That is a hugely important part of this, because like we're not just gonna depend. Given that what we're doing with the platform and everything, and doing productions at this level, putting this amount of effort into this, and I think bringing things to this level of quality, which again I'm so proud of this album. I think it's so awesome. It's great, and so like we can't just sit on the internet and like wait to get shadow banned, which we are on everything, and all the numbers
So,
are fake. So we're
Question. If
yeah.
people wanted to help and spread flyers, business cards with the QR codes and all this stuff,
Yes.
where can they find that document?
Well, I'm going to be posting it. I'm creating a new Whack Media channel on Telegram, and I'll probably just create a group on Gab and also on Twitter, probably, because I'm going to put it about on all those platforms and just be like, hey, we need your help to spread the word about this. We're not just going to put this on the internet and wait for people to show up. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. People don't just come to your site. They don't just come and check stuff out. We've got to take this to the next level. So we're going to have an IRL
Guerrilla marketing.
marketing campaign, and so we need you guys' help. I'm going to be putting that out in the next couple of days, to where you can get the flyers, you can print them out. You'll have to print them out yourselves. We literally have no budget for like marketing, unfortunately, but like it'll be fun. It's like something you can go out and do. You can either just hand it to people. There's no better marketing than just word of mouth. Just being like, hey, this is a great album. Go listen to this, and hand them something though. That's what's important. Because people are like, yeah, whatever, Whack Media, blah, 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 they forget. Hand them a business card, hand them a flyer, you know what I mean? Whatever, hand them something. And so that's another huge part of this. So sorry, I had them printed out, and they're like across the house. But
That's okay. Be looking out for those posts.
Yes.
And if you're interested in doing some in real life activism when it comes to like flyer posting and stuff like that, and you want to help out the arts, we would really appreciate you helping us with that. So yeah, on that note, I think we'll bring this to an end. Yeah.
yes, thank you guys so much for your support.
Yeah, thank you. And we hope you all have a really great weekend. And yeah.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.